Distances, a host of stars here, and we kick off with this men's 5,000 metres. The meeting record, incidentally, is the world record of Kenenisa Bekele, 12:37. Of course, Bekele is an unapproachable mark these days, it would seem. But a big field here, some 18 athletes in the lineup, including the three pacemakers. They're looking for 62 seconds per lap at the front end, so around 12:55 pace. And if they do hit that, well, it will be nearly as fast as a fabulous 5,000 in Rome last Thursday evening. There's Telahun Haile Bekele, who starts as the favourite, just 20 years old, the Ethiopian. He was the winner in Rome on Thursday evening, just a couple of days ago. Hengelo, he too, just 20 years old, the Kenyan, a 13:06 performer. That was sixth in Shanghai, his lifetime best 3 or 4 weeks ago. And Julian Wanders, watch him, the Swiss wonder boy. You'll forgive the pun. 23 years old. He's only run 13:24, but he's worth many seconds quicker than that. Back in February, he set a European record for the half marathon of 59:13. He's got enormous strength and pretty good speed. He just hasn't yet fulfilled his potential over 12.5 laps on the track. But he may do that in this next 13 or 14 minutes. The world best for this year is that time of Bekele in Rome last Thursday, 12:52.98. They're chomping at the bit to get underway here, aren't they? Good crowd in the arena too. The weather was pretty awful yesterday in this part of Holland. We're right in the east of Holland, up against the German border. It poured with rain for much of yesterday, but it's looking rather glorious this afternoon. Slight cloud cover. So the pacemakers should head out at 62 seconds roughly, and that means 2:35 for the first kilometre, 5:10 at 2 kilometres of the splits we're looking for. And of course they always speed up in the latter stages, so if they're slightly outside of that, it doesn't matter too much early on. Several field events in the competition today. The women's high jump is already underway. The bar currently at 185 will bring you the latter stages of that, with the big names Trost of Italy and Demireva of Bulgaria in the latter stages expected to feature. But away they go, and that's the Dutchman Roy Hoenweg who goes out in front. He's due to take them to at least 1 kilometre in 2:35. He's a 48-minute 10-mile man on the roads himself. He's pretty useful. From 13:31 for 5,000 Hoenweg, and Kiplangat is the second pacemaker there. You can see tucked in. He's supposed to take them to 2 kilometres in 5:10, and then rather like a rocket heading for the moon, with different stages dropping away as it gets further and further into space. Yusuf Hispachir of Djibouti will be the third pacemaker, and he is in third place at the moment. Bekele right up alongside, or right up behind Hispachir. I'm a little surprised to see him racing, I must say, after that 12:52 fabulous win. Brilliant race it was in Rome. I don't know if you saw that Diamond League action from the Olympic Stadium in the city of Seven Hills, but goodness me, did he get a big win there. Take some major scalps. It was only his 7th 5,000 metres ever, but they're in single file here, indicating that they are moving very, very crisply indeed. Incidentally, for Bekele, in 4th place in the white vest, that was a personal best by 13 seconds in Rome last week. Just a few days ago, he's also run 27:53 on the road, so he's got enormous speed to boot. They go through 800 there in about 2:04, so perfect pacemaking, metronomic pacemaking. Really good job being done here by Hoenweg. See them all paying close attention to this. They look like they're up for it, because I think they appreciate these are good conditions. Dahan there, struggling of course in these early stages to go with this pace. The Dutchman, he's a 13:35 performer, Benjamin Dahan. And of course this is very quick, so they come through 1 kilometre 2:35.35, absolutely spot on. Most of that leading 6 or 8 runners, that group, will have gone through in around 2:37, something like that, 2:36, 2:37. Wanders is up there. He's in about 7th place at the moment, the best of the non-African born athletes. Hengelo is in the white vest as well. He's playing close attention. I mean, it's what, Sunday afternoon? Rome was Thursday evening. That's race should have eased out of their legs. Up to 3 laps there, and the job done for Hohenweg, who steps aside. Well done to him, because that was brilliant pacemaking. We see some very, very questionable pacemaking on the international circuit these days. And why do they do it? Why do they have pacemakers? Well, it helps set up the rhythm of the race, it helps get them on the right tempo, just takes the burden off the athletes who are going for really quick times in the early stages of the races. Now Kiplangat leading, with his Bachir in second place. He's pushing it along. They go through 3.5 laps in 3:38. That's a 62.7. Remember, we're looking for 62. 9 laps to run. So he does need to keep pushing this along. So, Bekele in third place. Kiplangat just lost a little bit of ground at the moment. Wanders pushing hard to go with this. He's got enormous strength, the Swiss, who has dedicated his life to achieving great distance running goals. He lives in E10 in Kenya. Has a Kenyan girlfriend. Spends vast majority of his year there, up in the Rift Valley. It's around 7,000 feet altitude. And Kiplangat it is, from Hispachir. Bekele. Kipkore Kimeli behind the other Kiplangat who's in there. And that is Davis Kiplangat. He's another 20-year-old. He's got a best of only 13:11. That was in Rome, where he finished in 13th place on Thursday, but he won at 10,000 metres back in the middle of April in 27:56. So he has got good speed. And that's Kiplangat gone, I think, as they head down the back straight. And about 60 metres, they're past 2 kilometres. Well, there are 2 Kiplangats in this. You can see them both in there. And he hits 2K in 5:11. Well, that's just a second outside what they wanted. Again, at 2:35.6 kilometres. So pretty good pacemaking by Hohenweg and Kiplangat. It's being set up wonderfully well. No wind to interfere with things. When I arrived here in Holland yesterday from London, the plane was bucking all over the place as I came into land in Amsterdam, which is a couple of hours drive away. This is an interesting city to get to. There's no airports near it. Dusseldorf about an hour and a half away. Amsterdam 2 hours drive away. But it was very, very windy here in Hengelo throughout yesterday and through last night. The rain was clattering against my hotel window just a couple of miles from here last night. But we woke up this morning to a beautiful, still, sunny day. It's clouded over the last couple of hours, but these are nearly perfect conditions as this field begins to stretch out. 1 or 2 athletes beginning to struggle because they are sticking to this tempo. They're looking for 7:45 at 3,000, and they were only about a second outside that tempo at 2,000. Bekele now has taken on the pacemaking role. His Bachir never really got to the front and isolated there in 5th place. You can see Julian Wanders, the 23-year-old Swiss. He had a fabulous 2018. He ran personal bests at 1,500, 3,000 and 5,000. Was 7th in the European Championships at 10,000. Ran some very quick times. European record for 10 kilometres on the road. 27:25. He ran in Paris back in late December. But it's Bekele from Berehu. I haven't mentioned him yet. Solomon Berehu, who is going strongly. A 19-year-old Ethiopian. They're so young, these Ethiopians. And of course, many pundits of the sport, including one great athlete, Haile Gebrselassie, do smile wryly when they talk about the ages of these young Ethiopians, because so often they have been found to be several years older than is quoted. But it doesn't matter really when they're running in a senior race like this at such high tempo, whether they're 19 or 23. Bekele pushing on hard, and they go through 7 laps. Berehu there in the green and blue to the left of picture in 3rd place, looking very smooth indeed. Davis Kiplangat is in 4th place behind Kipkore Kimeli and Bekele. So they come into the straight now, and when they hit the line it'll be 3,000 metres, looking for 7:45. It's not going to be much outside it. It's dropped a couple of seconds, but it's still very crisp indeed. That's great. 7:48.38. So a couple of seconds outside what was wanted, but that doesn't matter because there's 4 of them there to share this burden. And Kipkore Kimeli hits the front now. He looks full of running, doesn't he? He was 6th in Shanghai with a 5-second personal best. That was his 13.06. Previously, he had been 13.11 at Berlin 2 years ago. He's 9th in the Commonwealth Games back in March last year on the Gold Coast over 5,000 metres. So he's got championship form, and they really are turning this on. Every time one of them hits the front, he's only there for 200 or 300 metres before somebody else hits the front, and Berehu now goes to the front. He's only done 5,000s. He doesn't race much, Solomon Berehu. He's just 19 years old. He ran 13.16 last year, 13.17 in 2017, when he was supposedly 17 years old. But they come through below us now with 4 laps to run, and they hit that in about 8.51. Well, I don't think they're going to run 4 minutes for the last 4 laps, so I'm not sure we're going to see a world best here, but it's going to be quick. Could well be under 13 minutes. Berehu from Bekele, Kipkore Kimeli and Davis Kiplanga in 4th place, just beginning to struggle now. Little gap appearing between those first 3 and him in 4th place. And behind these 4 is another group of 4, about 50 metres back, being led by Dida there, as you can see. That's a Gemechu Dida, another 19-year-old Ethiopian, making his debut at 5,000 metres. He has run 7:42 indoors last February for 3,000 metres. It's Berehu continues to churn it out. And Bekele in 2nd place, glancing across the bend there at the home straight. Looks comfortable to me. It is Davis Kiplanga, I think, who is beginning to struggle there. Yes, in the background in 4th place. 3 laps to run now. 9.53 there. That's a useful split. 62.3. Berehu turning the screw here, maybe fearing his lack of outright speed, and that's a renowned finish of Bekele that we saw come to such good effect in Rome just 3 days ago. We're down to 3. Berehu, Bekele and Kipkore Kimeli. Kipkore Kimeli in 3rd place, world ranked number 9. There's Teklu from Dida. Wanders has got himself in the back of that group. That's a 4th kilometre at 2:36 clocking. So we were looking for 10:20 at 4 kilometres. A little bit outside that. At 4K, the official split 10:25. And there's Kiplanga. He's about 15 minutes down there as they come through right in front of me in this glorious little arena. It's just the right size. Probably holds about 12,000, something like that, 10 or 12,000. It would be rocking atmosphere if absolutely full. It's about 2/3 full at the moment as these 3 head into the back straight for the penultimate time. They've eased away more and more. It's about a 15-metre gap now. Back to Kiplanga. Bekele, Kipkore Kimeli. It's going to be an interesting final lap, isn't it? These 3 could throw a blanket over them, literally. Locked together with 600 metres to run. Bekele, though, maybe just sizing up the opposition here as he eases around this bend. He looks controlled, doesn't he? He's got a lovely, long, raking stride. Doesn't look under pressure, mind you, neither does Kipkore Kimeli, who surely is heading for a personal best here as they come towards the bell. Just over 1 lap to run then. This men's 5,000 metres. And the winner in Rome 3 nights ago in the Olympic City, the Olympic Stadium. Bekele leads, just over 300 metres to run. He begins to wind it up now. Cranks it up another gear, lengthens the stride. And it looks like Berehu is struggling for pace as they head down the back straight. Kipkore Kimeli swings wide, challenges Bekele. Look at the flailing arms of Kipkore Kimeli. He is only 20 years old. Bekele is only 20 years old. And Berehu, back in 3rd place, is only 19 years old. Unbelievable talents of these young men as they lap there. I think that was Murgos Tuamai. They come round the crowd on the bend now. And Bekele, just as in Rome, needs to kick for home here with real purpose. He's under real threat here. Kipkore Kimeli desperately flailing with those arms. Bekele charging on the inside. Kipchoge Kemeili can't get there. Eases back a few metres out, and the win, 12:57.57. That final lap, 57.38. Again, another scintillating sub-13-minute 5,000 metres here in Hengelo. What many people regard as one of the great cathedrals of distance running. It might not be a massive stadium, but its status in the world of distance running on the track is absolutely monstrous, and plenty of them coming across the line there in under 13 minutes. Some really good place times, I think, behind those first three. Bekele 12:57.56 unofficially, and that is now official on my screen. Kemeili 12:57.90. Berehu 13:02 for Berehu. That's great running from him. That's a personal best by some 10 seconds, well over 10 seconds. Muhammad Ali of the Netherlands, boy oh boy, 13:04. Get this, his previous best was 13:32. I can't believe it. He's improved by 28 seconds. Muhammad Ali of the Netherlands, former Somali, transferred to Dutch nationality in October 2015, Ali, and he's finished fourth here in Hengelo with a 28-second national record and personal best by 28 seconds, 13:04.52. It's Bekele there. Hugs his coach and notches up another very, very impressive win. My one reservation, though, about performances of this calibre close together in early June is that the World Championships are some 15 and a half weeks away in Doha, in Qatar. At the end of September, even the first 6 days of October are taken up by the World Championships. Uniquely late and uniquely far away from these early season races. Look at the stride there of Bekele. Never really looks under pressure, even though he swings wide to get in front of Kipchoge Kemeili, but I don't think that mattered. Kipchoge Kemeili, his legs went about 25 metres out, and he just strides home. Under 13 minutes for him, though. And that is a personal best for him by some 9 seconds, 13:57.90 in second place. Brilliant racing. What a way to kick off the international programme here in Hengelo 2019. Well, Julian Wanders, 13:19, a personal best for him by some 5 seconds, back in 8th place. The Ethiopian is taking first, third, 5th, 6th, 7th. Goodness me. 5 Ethiopians under 13:20. Enu Mekanon, 13:34. And he's an athlete who had never broken 14 minutes before today. There is confirmation of that win for Bekele over Kemeili. Ethiopia over Kenya, 12:57.56 to 12:57.90. Berehu rounds out the top 3 with 13:02. Well, he enjoyed that, doesn't he? Really.